You know who it is. I'm not even going to say it. Let's just get into it. But first, like, subscribe. Let's just get started. We got another video by famed comedian Bill Maher. I'm just, gonna watch it. That's pretty much what it is. This video is on woke capitalism. New rule, woke capitalism. And just based off the title alone, I can kind of assume what it's going to be about. If you want to hear my preliminary thoughts, preliminarily, I think it's going to be how what sells these days, things that are trending, the things that are always going to be forward in motion, are the things that people who are woke care about the most. And in terms of wokeness, it's all about fairness. It's all about trying to make things correct, trying to make sure that all parties are, equally represented. That's usually what wokeness entails. I'm looking at the positive side. There's obviously a negative side to being woke. There's detriments to everything. So I think Bill is going to express that through funny. I'm going to extrapolate that through annoying. And let's see what we can find. I do want to mention that I think one of the negative detriments that come with being woke is that people who are woke are usually aware of an oppressor. Like, they're aware of the problem. Like, oh, I am very woke to this situation because I'm aware that the oppressor of this situation is this, that, and that, right?
Finally, new rule, there's nothing wrong with not having an opinion on something. Especially if you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And if you're getting your facts from TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, I don't want to hear your hot take on asymmetrical warfare, because there's a term for someone who gets their news from Facebook. Mom. You know, among the worst things that social media ever did was it made everyone feel they had to weigh in on every controversial issue or breaking news story, and that's my job.
That is true. I will say that TikTok, social media, everyone has a voice. Everyone wants to say what they want to say. Everyone feels like makeshift reporters and photographers. That's what social media has done. And then it has its benefits, great benefits. And it has its bad side, its detriments, terrible detriments. But that is what it is. That's just part of the game. That's when we're in a content-driven society. It's all about finding what the premier content is, at least for that day, that week, or ever. Whether it's going to be content that you want to regard highly, whether it's going to be breaking news, whether it's just going to be entertainment, right? When we're looking for content, you got to be selective. However, a lot of people aren't selective, so a lot of garbage goes through the airways. A lot of misinformation is spread, right? And that's part of the game as well, but because we are a content-driven society now, the possibility of a lot of information being misspread increases.
In the olden days, people would watch the evening news and then, well, nothing. They went on with their lives. But today, everybody's got to share their theory on everything, whether it's trans women on the swim team or whether dwarves should play non-dwarves in the Snow White movie. Hey. But has anyone noticed that the more time everyone spends telling everyone else their political position on everything, the more we've been at each other's throats? Here's a trend I would love to see on Twitter. No opinion.
That'll never happen, but that's nice.
Where
Nice thought.
people take issues like the debt limit and climate science and post, I don't know shit about this. Thursday is Thanksgiving, the cherished yearly celebration when distant friends and scattered family members gather together to fight about Donald Trump. The other butterball. But not just Trump. We'll also argue about abortion and critical race theory and guns and prisons and schools, and this year we're fighting about Israel. But here's the thing, you're not actually legally obliged to have an opinion. Do you know why the Indians and the Pilgrims were able to sit peaceably through the first Thanksgiving? Because nobody brought up politics.
He's telling jokes, but I mean, yeah, it's not false. You don't need an opinion on everything. I have lived life as like someone that's usually a bystander, someone that can see both sides outside the box, because I was never really like directly into things. And even if I was directly involved in things. I always would try to see it from the other person's perspective before I eviscerated them with my argument. But I always try to keep things neutral. In an unfair world, I try to be as fair as I can. So I understand what Bill is saying here. You don't need an opinion on everything. Just listen sometimes. Sometimes you just gotta listen and then think about it later.
Even though I'm sure the Indians had strong feelings about immigration. Back in the 90s, Michael Jordan famously said he stayed out of politics because, quote, Republicans buy sneakers too. And then Kanye said, and don't forget Nazis.
But you see what I'm saying though? Like, yeah, Michael Jordan he did a great thing. He had no opinion. And if he did have an opinion, he could have lost maybe over 50% of shoe sales. I want to say, right? Like, yeah, that's smart. I don't need to know Michael Jordan's political affiliation. All I really cared about was the shoes. I mean, I don't personally, but in essence, right? Anyone could care about the shoes all around the world. And they have, and they do. People have died over his shoes. You know what I'm saying? But people wouldn't die over his shoes if he had strong political opinions. Now, obviously, I'm taking a different route than Michael Jordan. And a lot of people take different routes. You can have strong opinions and still be successful, still do well. You just have to be aware that you're pigeonholing yourself and you want to be more versatile in this world, I believe. Versatility is very important. No opinion is just as important as an opinion. I agree with him on this one. I'm not going to lie on that.
But the days when someone could say that and keep their opinions to themselves, those days are gone.
True.
Big Brother says that having no opinion is not an option anymore. You must participate in this online circle jerk, or you'll be... or you will be seen as an insensitive prick who's single-handedly obstructing much-needed progress in the world. Did you post a black square? No? Well, that's why there's still racism.
That's a good point.
You see, here's what it is. The younger generations were raised wrong. So they can't stand for a minute the idea that other people have opinions different than their own. 59% of consumers now will buy a product or boycott a product based solely on the political stance a company takes. Gen Z consumers need to know if their spermicide condemns cockfighting.
You can't throw this stat at only Gen Zers when Bud Light happened. That's all I'm going to say. I think it is a true quote, true statistic. 59%, I can believe that. It's just not applicable only to Gen Z. That's all I'm going to say. It's applicable to everyone.
Disney didn't want to get into a big pissing match with Ron DeSantis about sex in grade school, but its employees sure did, so they had to. Now one side thinks Disney said too much, the other thinks it didn't say enough. We see this pattern over and over. We saw it with Bud Light, when they did ads with a trans influencer, and MAGA Nation thought it was a plot to use beer to turn them gay.
Okay, well, at least he's mentioning the Bud Light.
Pride Month is now a minefield for corporations. This year, Target put up special rainbow displays which presented Christians who oppose gay marriage with an impossible choice. Either support a gay lifestyle and go to hell for it, or shop at Kohl's.
And you can't forget, people were beating up Target associates. People were actually committing assault. People were assaulting people at Target just for working there, who had no say in what the company or corporate did. They were getting beaten up. So it's like, come on, this world's gone to shit.
And why did I ever need to know that Chick-fil-A is chicken that's Christian?
That's
Can't it just be chicken?
fair.
This is unsustainable. It's unsustainable. To politicize everything means we're always fighting because we don't all agree and never will. And most people don't want to be forced to say anything. Kylie Jenner posted, "We stand with the people of Israel," and then deleted it, which is pretty much the opposite of standing with. One executive who was interviewed about the pressure companies have felt to make a statement about the Hamas war said, "We're not historians. A lot of us didn't understand the issue very well, didn't understand the history." Exactly. And I bet you still don't, so why not just shut the fuck up? I don't need...
I mean, where's the lie?
Where's the lie? If you don't know, just shut your mouth. I was told this lesson very early as a child, and I still think I need to learn this lesson sometimes. but I'm aware of it now more so as an adult. If I don't have anything to say, instead of trying to find something just to fill up space, speak on the airwaves, and feel heard, I should just shut up, because I'll be more heard when I make a statement that's impactful versus being heard because I was making a fool of myself. That's really what it is. And I won't have to take back anything. I can stand on my own 10 toes on everything I've said, because I'm not just saying shit out my ass. I'm just speaking from the heart. That's the difference, I believe.
I don't need to be reminded that Spanx' stretchy pants are against racism. I don't care who Frito-Lay stands with. You make bean dip. Just do that. Stop making everything about some other random deeper shit. When I hear Astroglide, I want you to know that they support Stop. You lost me. I don't want to live in this annoying world where they can't drink Bud Light and we can't eat Chick-fil-A. I'm sick of all of it. This Thanksgiving, I'm going to make beer can chicken with Bud Light and Chick-fil-A. And anybody who doesn't like it can go fuck themselves. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
I will say this video, I liked everything Bill said. Bill said a lot of great stuff here, you know? Why politicized? Oh my God. Why make everything an issue, especially when it's not an issue? Why do companies have to take stands on certain things? Why can't they just make a product and be done with it? Why does everything have to be woke? Why does everything have to have like a social standing in the world? You know, why can't things just exist for simply existing? Why does something have to have a deeper meaning? And don't get me wrong, there probably are a bunch of things that, you know, want to have that same cover, that same protection, that have these deeper meanings. But does that mean we have to scrutinize every single one? Well, the online internet detectives will do that, sure. And don't get me wrong, I'm thankful to those detectives, because those are the same people that have uncovered a lot of great stories in just the world, right? Things that the governments, at least our government, my government, has tried to keep hidden, right? But also the same thing can be said about misinformation that has been spread all just decades, centuries even, that still is going to plague the world. And it's even easier now because we're in a society where if you have the most popularity, the most followers, right, you can even be a celebrity and spread misinformation if you're misinformed. So it's a different time, very different time, but it's all about adaptation. So yeah, that's the video. Great video, excellent video. I'm gonna subscribe. And I want to be more familiar with his content, and you should subscribe to me and be more familiar with my content. So with that being said, thank you so much. This is Tsunami, and we're shining out.